Hello and welcome to the Bocsak Briefing. This is the second episode, so I'm still getting used to this sort of live match reaction right after the game. But again, in this second episode, I'm happy to report I can sort of talk about a good result for Liverpool in the end. It did get a little bit shaky towards the final sort of 10-15 minutes. We definitely needed that Luis Diaz goal. Obviously, Cody Gakpo's brilliance before that as well. But overall, I think there were a lot of positives in this game. Um, from probably, I think I really enjoyed Dominic Soboslai's false nine performance. Yes, he should have scored. I think he took a poor touch from Gakpo's pass. But like some of his pressing and his intensity was really good. It kind of reminded me of Roberto Firmino when he was playing in that false nine role. So, given Diego Jota's sort of injury problems, Darwin Nunez not being a proven goal scorer, being quite unreliable so far in his Liverpool career, I think it's nice to sort of trial that sort of roll out for Soboslai, see what he's like in that position, and I think he's shown slot he can be an option in that role. Um, yeah, obviously Cody Gakpo will take all the spotlight. He was brilliant. Created the most chances while he was on the pitch, only two, but there's still um, Liverpool's main source of creativity, or one of Liverpool's main source of creativity, alongside his two goals as well, including a brilliant finish at both really brilliant finishes. Um, on that note, I have to highlight Tyler Morton as well, who got his assist. I think he really took his moment and he made his opportunity count. He was also one of those players who created two chances alongside Gakpo. There were a few players who created two chances, so it's nice to see Liverpool's sort of creativity was coming from all sorts of areas on the pitch. I think Conor Bradley was another one from the right back's position. I think he would kind of put in a really good performance as well, won the most duels for Liverpool. Definitely struggled a little bit with Karim Mitoma coming on, but Mitoma has made most of the fullbacks in the Premier League struggle. So I don't think there's any concerns there. I was encouraged by that performance. Wataru Endo, while he was on the pitch, he also won the most duels alongside Bradley at the time with 7. I think Bradley ended up winning 8 in the end. So again, Endo's performance wasn't perfect, but considering how rusty he was, I thought it was a solid performance. Considering the last time he played for Liverpool had been a while, so the way he came in, I think he was also the most fouled player on the pitch. There was a lot of encouraging stuff in that sense. Other than that, I think obviously you've got to mention Viteslav Jarosz. Um, don't think he was at fault for any of the goals. I know FotMob has it down that he made an error for one of the goals. I'm not quite sure. I saw that. Unfortunately, I think obviously the first one, Jarrell Kwanzaa gives that pass away. It was a bit of a sloppy play from him, and the second one, again, the shot gets deflected, and Jarosz can't really do anything about it. Other than that, he made that incredible save in the second half. I think he made 5 saves overall, 4 from inside the box. Well, shots from inside the box anyway. So that's really impressive stuff. I think he definitely cannot be disappointed in terms of his performance. Considering this was his full debut, it was very encouraging. I think some of his passing was quite good on the night as well. He did tend to go long quite a few times, but I think Brighton pressed Liverpool well, so he was forced to go long. But considering this is just a start, I think I was encouraged by that performance, and yeah, I quite like Trey and Yoni's sort of cameo as well. I think he was kind of probably Liverpool's most lively substitute. I mean, obviously he's got the most points to prove, really. He's obviously 17 years old. He wants to get in the side. He wants to get more minutes, I'm sure, in the first team for that experience. And he was really eager, I think, to make a good impression, and made some really good passes. Definitely wanted to be involved. I think he had 21 touches in around half an hour of play, which is really, really, really lively and encouraging. I think, yeah, I quite liked and enjoyed that performance. Yeah, I think other than that, there's not much to mention. I think probably the main talking point from a Liverpool perspective will be Jarrell Kwanzaa's mistakes, just because he obviously made that mistake against Ipswich, and he's going to be a little bit scrutinised, I think, after this game because of some of that sloppy pass that he made. But I think I'm not necessarily overly concerned by his performance or his poor form. I think he's been really good for England's under-21 sides if you actually watch him play during those international games. Obviously, he's just rusty at the moment. He's not getting a lot of minutes for Liverpool. That is to be expected. I mean, he's coming up against a lively Brighton team who did press Liverpool really well. So I think when in a situation like that, when a goalkeeper, well, a defender is coming in, having not played a lot of minutes against a very talented forward line. I mean, Simon Adingra, he's someone who was actually nominated for African Player of the Year over Mohamed Salah. So, that shows you his quality. He was brilliant at AFCON, has been very good for Brighton in patches as well. I don't think he's had proper consistency yet, but he's a good player, and the rest of the Brighton attacking lineup is very good as well. Brian Gruder, he was a big money signing from Mainz. That's someone who Liverpool actually looked at and quite liked as well. But in the end, I think Brighton made more sense for him. I don't think he would have got a lot of minutes at Liverpool. Um, yeah, other than that, I think obviously Andy Robertson was the captain, and I mentioned in the last sort of briefing that I wasn't really impressed by his performance against Arsenal. But I think this one, he was slightly better, slightly improved. I mean, obviously the quality of the opposition was weaker. I think Robertson's sort of leadership quality shone through in this game. He's still got a lot to give in the dressing room, so I'm certainly not one advocating for him to, be sold. I think he's going to be a really important part of the dressing room, but potentially, if his sort of decline continues, I am still, I think, considering. I would consider bringing in someone to be his long term replacement and be Liverpool's first choice, and Robertson taking on a sort of more backup role, and Tsimikas sort of being able to free his wings and being able to move on. I think that's probably the best solution for Liverpool this summer. Who that left back will be, I don't know. I mean, I mentioned I think Alphonso Davies could be an option, but Ryan Aït-Nouri, he's someone who Liverpool really like. They've been following him since his Paris FC days. He was at Paris FC around the same time as Ibrahima Konate and Loic Bade, who Liverpool are watching at Sevilla. And yeah, Liverpool scouts have been sort of tracking him ever since then. And I think he's someone who's obviously in great form, and he could really sort of fit that role under Arne Slot. But back to this game, I mean, I think obviously now you look ahead to Brighton at the weekend. This was definitely a good sort of audition for that game. But it's going to be a much changed 11. I mean, Arne Slot made 8 changes in this game, so obviously we're expecting the big guns to come back. I think Darwin Nunez will start. Soboslai probably drops back into the number 10 role. I wasn't overly impressed by Curtis Jones in this game. He actually didn't win a single duel. So I think Soboslai probably deserves another opportunity in that number 10 role. When he came on against Arsenal, I think he made the difference in terms of his pressing and definitely created opportunities for Liverpool to get that equaliser. So I think he will come into that number 10 role. Naturally, obviously, Salah will come in, Van Dijk will come in, Konate will come in. I think Konate was quite useful in the last few minutes when he came on and made that foul, which actually I don't really think it was a foul. If anything, it was Welbeck who was fouling him. But that sort of experience when he came in was quite helpful. And yeah, obviously Kelleher will start as well, and Alexander-Arnold will come in, and Gavin Birch will come in. So it's going to be a completely different lineup, and it's going to be a completely different lineup for Brighton as well. I'm sure Mitoma, who came on as a substitute, is going to be starting, so he's going to be a threat. He showed in this game that he can be a huge threat, and I think Alexander-Arnold will have to be on the top of his game. Salah will have to be sort of dropping back to make sure we nullify Mitoma's impact as much as possible. But yeah, for tonight, it's a good performance. Gakpo proving his sort of League Cup specialty. I think he's played 8 League Cup games for Liverpool and has scored 8 goals. Some very encouraging performances. Morton, I think in particular, really showed that he deserves to be getting more minutes. And overall, a Liverpool win, so you can't really complain. And on to the next one against Brighton once again, where I think Liverpool will be hoping to get another big victory and continue their good run of form under Arne Slot. And yeah, as I said, it's going to be a completely different scenario, completely changed circumstances. But Liverpool will be hoping to use this sort of formula and get another good result. So that's it from me. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe to the Anfield Index YouTube channel.